Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the Black Suit Bros here, and today we're doing a versus episode against the Progen T20, the Grotti Turismo, and the Pegassi Osiris. I'm joined with Sean.
Yeah, boy.
And Ollie.
Hello.
Just a bit of information about this episode, seeing as it is the first one. It's going to be split into 5 parts, we believe.
Yeah.
We'll talk about each part as we get into it. So let's start off with the track times.
So off the line, the Osiris is hugely quick because of its four-wheel drive, and then it's got a huge amount of power, accelerating it really quickly up the first straight. Hard on the brakes into the first corner. The brakes are really good. The turning response is nice as well. And it gets its power on really early once again because of that four-wheel drive system. Nice and fast through the first chicane. Second chicane probably a little bit faster than where the Turismo would be because of the four-wheel drive system. So into the second hairpin or U-shaped turn, once again brakes are really good. Stability round the corner is nice as well, but if you put on too much power in any of these corners, the back end will slide out. So around the last bend, full on the throttle because this thing just grips so well around that corner, and across the line at 56 seconds, 0.201. So off the line, the T20 is pretty much the same as the Osiris. Once again, four-wheel drive, just as much power down the straight. Into the first corner, the brakes feel a lot stronger on the T20, and the turning response is a little bit more. Really fast around the first chicane again. Once again, they both get really fast down the straight on the second straight out of the first corner due to their increased power. The second chicane is where the four-wheel drive system comes into play. Same situation in the T20 as the Osiris. If you go too fast around any of the corners, put too much power on it, might slide out a little bit, but as long as you keep it controlled, it's nice and stable. And around the last bend, once again in this, hard on the power, grips no end, and across the line at 56 seconds, 0.169 to set the fastest lap time so far. So off the line, not as quick as the T20 and the Osiris. It's only rear-wheel drive this car, but the acceleration up to the first turn feels the same. Brakes are probably just as good as the T20, maybe slightly off on the first corner. Turning response, it feels a lot lighter, but it doesn't have that four-wheel drive system to get it out of the first corner with the same pace. Much faster than the other two through the first chicane, I felt, because it feels a lot lighter, as I said. Through the second chicane, however, this one doesn't have that four-wheel drive system, so it can't put down as much power, and it's a slower chicane. The back end does tend to slide out a little bit more on this car, and a little more easily as well, because it doesn't have that four-wheel drive system, but it feels light through the corners, so you can flick it in and to the corners a little bit more. And around the final bend, once again, this one, full on the throttle, despite being only rear-wheel drive, it grips just as well. And across the line at 56.234, the slowest lap time here, but nowhere near off the pace, so still a super fast car.
So okay, as these cars set off, we can see that the Progen and the Osiris have the exact same launch pretty much. That this is down to the four-wheel drive that both cars have. The Turismo lacks a little bit just due to the fact that they can't get all that power down at once. Once these cars get up to speed, there's no real winner, and as soon as we get across the line, we can see that it's a dead heat between the Progen T20 and the Pegassi Osiris. So at the end of those two rounds, the winner has to go to the Progen T20.
Yep, it's a good result from all of them though, all very close.
Yeah.
In the performance tests so far.
We were surprised that the Turismo was able to keep up, considering it is a quarter of the price of both of these cars, but
yeah,
still wasn't good enough to keep up with these in the drag race.
So now we're off to the exhaust and visuals of these three, which sounds the best, which looks the best, and which is the most customizable.
Yeah, to do this we're going to take a cruise up to a nice pair of tunnels to test out the exhaust sounds, and we'll have a little chat about what car we think looks best.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'll see you there. No, wait. I'll see you there.
Yeah. Right guys, so we've just finished our cruise. We're first going to talk about the sounds of the Osiris. So Sean, what do you think?
It's a good sounding car, but it's just a bit too quiet for me, so I'd say it's the good sounding outdoor of these three.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
For a
it's
hypercar.
pretty weak.
Yeah.
There's
For a
not much to it.
hypercar.
Yeah.
It needs to
And
be a
what
lot
about-
louder.
Yeah, and what about the way it looks? What do you guys
It
think
looks
of that?
alright.
I think the front end is a lot better looking than the back
Mm.
end, so for me,
Them.
it
I don't
doesn't
like
win
them.
my like scorecard on the looks.
Bit plain at the back
I
too.
like
I do quite like the back. I like the fact that the carbon fibre is embedded into the back
Yeah.
of this. I think it looks quite cool. But that's
Yeah,
just my opinion.
To me, it's based enough on the white roof on the front, but not on the back, so it just doesn't look good enough for me.
That's fair enough.
I'd say it looks like the LaFerrari on the front.
It's definitely got the grille with black.
Yeah.
over it.
It's
Grill
got
on the
the
front.
splitter of the LaFerrari, yeah, but the rest
Yeah.
of it's pyro.
Yeah.
Right, so
Right.
moving on to the
Moving on.
Progen.
Okay.
What do you think of the sounds of the Progen?
It's best.
It's definitely the loudest of the three by quite a bit,
Yeah.
but to me, it's not an as refined sound as the Turismo.
Yeah, it is just a noise. There's no unique feature about the sound of this that makes you wet your pants or anything.
Yeah,
It looks real though. It looks-
yeah, it's for
Yeah.
me the best looking. It's got the most curves, and it just looks the best from, well, it looks good from all angles to me.
Well, yeah, it's
pretty
based
fast.
off the McLaren P1,
Yeah,
which is a great car in itself.
Definitely.
Finally, the Turismo. I think it's the best sounding.
I agree with you on that it's not as loud as the Turismo, but it sounds like a supercar.
Yeah, it's got that Formula 1 sound-ish to it, but not
Yeah.
too much.
Wine.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a whine to it.
Mm.
To me,
But-
I think it's got the ugliest front end though.
Yeah, it does.
But
Okay.
the
What were
best in
what were
back.
they
Yeah.
thinking when they thought, oh, let's put these two giant fucking scrapes in the front of it? What's that going to do? It looks shit.
It just looks like an arrowhead.
And look at the lights. What's
Yeah,
that meant to be?
the problem with this, I think it's on the back. It's based on the LaFerrari, which looks really good. But I've no idea what the front is based off of. But it's not good.
Yeah, the back doesn't look too bad. I do like that it
So-
shows the. I do like that it shows the engine.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So we're on to the customizability of these cars. So the way we're doing this, we're doing all aesthetical upgrades to the cars that you can't get on any other car. So we're excluding any performance upgrades, which include brakes, transmission, turbo, engine, suspension. We're not including the wheels, the respray, any horns, lights, windows, or armor, or plates, anything else that I haven't mentioned that is on any other car. So overall, this one has 16 upgradable components. So we'll start with the front bumpers. So there are 6 front bumpers on this car. There is the primary color race splitter, the secondary color race splitter, the carbon race splitter, the primary color street splitter, the secondary color street splitter, and the carbon street splitter. Then if we stay at the front, we have an upgradable fender on this car, which is the race wing vents on the top wheel arches. Then if we go around to the back of this car, we have one upgradable rear bumper on this car, which is the race rear diffuser in carbon fibre, which it doesn't mention. Then if we stay at the back, we have 3 different exhaust components on this car. We have the oval exhaust, the race exhaust, and the chrome tip exhaust. Then staying at the back again, we have 2 spoilers on this car, the race wing and the GT wing. Then going around to the sides, we have 3 skirts, primary colour race skirts, secondary colour race skirts, and the carbon race skirts. And overall, that is all we have on the Osiris. I will point out that the secondary colour front bumper and skirts didn't look too different to the carbon ones, but that is simply because the secondary colour on this car is already black. So now we're doing the customizability of the Progen T20. So this one has 11 upgrade components in it overall. So first one, we're going with front bumper. We have 2 front bumpers. We have the secondary colour race splitter and the carbon race splitter. We then at the front again have 2 hoods, a vented hood and a double vented hood. Then if we go back onto the bumpers at the rear, we have a primary colour diffuser and a secondary colour diffuser. No spoiler on this car because it has the automatic wing, obviously, but we do have one roof upgrade, which is the roof scoop. Then if we go down to the skirts, one skirt upgrade, the shark fin skirts, and that is everything for the Progen T20. So now we are doing the customizability of the Grotti Turismo R. So only 6 upgradable components on this car, and we won't start off with the front bumper or the hood this time because it doesn't have any. Instead we'll go straight to the rear and start with the exhausts. 3 exhausts, oval exhaust, chrome tip exhaust, and the race exhaust. Then we're staying at the back, going down to the spoilers. It has a carbon wing and a GT wing. Then if we go up to the top, it has the painted roof as it is carbon fibre as stock, and that is everything for the Grotti Turismo R.
That's the end of today's video, guys, and the Versus has been won with 27 points by the Progen T20. I hope you have enjoyed today's video and be sure to leave a like if you did. Also leave a comment if there is anything we missed or could have improved. But once again, thank you guys for watching and we'll catch you next time.